Welcome. This is a gentle yoga video for farmers who have worked all day and need to do something to recover from a long day of work. So this is your yoga cool down from your workday. So the goal of this practice is to do longer, deeper holds of postures that counteract all of the actions that you have been doing all day. So chances are you've probably been rounding your spine, closing the front of your chest. So we're going to focus on opening the front of the chest. You've probably been putting strain on your lower back. So we're going to loosen up the lower back and the hips and the hamstrings. So go ahead and start standing for a moment and roll your head around in circles. I like to start practices this way because there's so much going on in the head, neck, and shoulders that we're oftentimes not aware of throughout the day. The head, neck, and shoulders is often where we hold on to a lot of our stress. It's where we kind of collect all of the tension throughout the day. And switch directions with your head. And if there's a spot that needs more attention, maybe you hang out in that spot for an extra breath. And then continue your circle, find a new spot that needs a little bit more attention. And then take your arms behind your back. Inhale, open the front of your chest. Nice full breath in. And then exhale, fold forward. Stretch your knuckles away from your hips if you can. Bend your knees if you need to. And bend only as far as your body is comfortable with or capable of. If your body is really tight today, be gentle on yourself. The more you do this, the more open your body will get eventually. And then release your arms, let your arms hang heavy, and feel free to grab a couple of yoga blocks to put underneath your hands if you need more support. We're going to spend about a minute here. So if you feel any pain in your low back, bend your knees and straighten your spine. Otherwise, if there's no pain in your lower back, you can start to let your upper body just relax forward. We're going for a really nice lengthening of the whole back side of your body, including the back of your neck. See if you can let your head drop a little bit more. And see if you can let your breath get a little bit smoother. Nice, easy inhale. And easy exhale. And let's take a breath together. Exhale, empty out your lungs. And take a nice inhale. And exhale out of your mouth. And then slowly make your way to lying on your belly. Feel free to rest your hands underneath your forehead and just rock your hips from side to side. Let's take another breath together. Exhale, empty out your lungs. And take a nice easy inhale. And exhale out of your mouth. Now we'll open up the front of the chest. So take your left arm out to the left and make sure it's directly in line with your left shoulder. So not down by your hip or up by your head, but straight out to the side. Take your right hand underneath your right shoulder and then press your right hand down into the ground and roll over onto your left side body so that you can open up the front of your left shoulder. And chances are this muscle is pretty tight from all of the hard work that you've been doing. If you want to feel more sensation, you can push your left hand down into the ground. Take one more deep breath. And then roll onto your belly. And we'll do the same thing on the right side. So take right arm out to the side, just in line with your right shoulder. Put your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and then roll onto your right side body by pushing down into your left hand. And you should feel a stretch through the front of the right shoulder. Again, if you want more sensation, push your right hand down into the ground. One more deep breath. And then roll back onto your belly again. This time we're going to isolate the front of the shoulder just a little bit more specifically by taking your left arm out to the left, and instead of bringing the arm straight out to the left, do a little cactus bent elbow. And then put your right hand underneath your right shoulder, and when you roll over onto your left side body, you should feel it a little bit more deeply in the front of the left shoulder. Take 3 deep breaths. And if you don't feel it, you can play around with where your elbow placement is. You might need your elbow a little bit higher up or lower down. Another full breath in. And then roll onto your belly again. And same thing on the right side. Cactus arm with your right elbow out to the right, in line with your right shoulder. Left hand on the ground. And then push down into your left hand to roll onto your right side body, stretching the right front of your shoulder. One more full breath in. And then roll back onto your belly. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself back to your knees, walk your knees forward a little bit so that you can sit your hips on your heels. We'll make our way into a child's pose. So sometimes it's nice, especially if your back is really tight, sometimes it's nice to put your hands in a stack underneath your forehead. You can also put a yoga block underneath your forehead, or your forehead might naturally reach the ground. You can play around with either having your knees together or apart. You can have your arms either outstretched in front of you or down by your sides. And this posture is really soothing for not just the outside layers of your body, but also the deeper layers of your nervous system. This posture can help slow down your heart rate. And then nice and slow, roll yourself back up. Take your feet out from underneath you. And now we're going to make our way into a gentle restorative heart opener. So options, there's a lot of options, and you can make do with what you have. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use a stack of pillows as long as you feel an opening in the front of your chest. So one option that's nice if you do have blocks is you can put the first block that's closest to you at the medium height, and then the second block that's farther from you at the full height of the block, so that you can get a little bit more support for the back of your head and your neck. So you would lay down with the first block on your shoulder blades and the second block on your head. And this is one option that could be really nice for your body. If this is too intense, one thing you can do is you could put your first block shorter, or you can use something like a cushion there instead if you really need a little bit less intensity. And if you want more of an opening through the front of the throat, you might even make the block that's underneath your head a little bit shorter. Someday you might even remove the block completely, letting your head rest on the ground. And we'll be here for about a minute. So once you've explored all the different potential possibilities and found a variation that works for your spine today, go ahead and settle into it. Let your arms splay out to the side. And you can do anything that feels good for your legs. Right now I have my knees bent, soles of the feet on the ground. You can let your knees knock together if that feels good. You can also bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. You can also bring your legs straight. And again, what we're going for is an opening through the front of the chest. Soften your jaw. See if you can breathe a little bit more smoothly. Let's take a breath together. So exhale, empty out your lungs. Take a nice, easy inhale. And exhale out of your mouth. And then really nice and slow, start to peel yourself off of your props. Make your way up to sitting. And feel free to roll your shoulders back and down. Just do any kind of movement that gives you information about what's going on in your spine in this moment. And then we'll do another side bend. So straighten your right leg forward and pull your left foot into your right inner thigh. And then twist your chest towards your bent knee. And take your left arm out, up, and over, and side bend towards your straight leg. So it doesn't matter how far you bend. You could be here, and that's fine. Your bottom arm can rest wherever feels appropriate. And think about turning your chest up towards the ceiling. This posture is so good for your lower back, especially if you've been bending over a lot. And take one more full breath in. And then slowly lift back up again. And switch legs. Take your left leg forward, right foot in towards your left inner thigh. Twist towards your bent knee And then take your right arm out, up, and over towards your straight leg, turning your chest up towards the ceiling. And again, take a few more deep breaths. One more full breath in. And then exhale, slowly lift back up again. And bring the soles of your feet together to touch. If you find that you are already kind of falling backwards, if your hips are tight and you can't quite sit up straight, you can take a cushion or a pillow or a couple of folded up blankets and sit up on it. It makes it a little bit easier to keep your spine upright, so you don't have to work hard to stay up. And if you don't need the cushion, that's also fine. You can sit on the ground, soles of the feet together, knees wide. And maybe it's enough for you to just tuck your chin. Or maybe you want more. Maybe you want to walk your hands forward. Let your head drop. We'll be here for about a minute. And again, it doesn't matter how deeply you bend. And it's really normal for the jaw to tighten when we open up the hips. See if you can soften your jaw. Let your tongue relax in your mouth. Take a few more easy breaths. And then when you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way back up. If you're sitting up on something, move it off to the side. Walk your hands back behind you and start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And if there's anything else that your body is longing for in order to feel complete today, take another minute or so to do whatever it is that you need. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today.